All right, guys, let's get this party started here. So, how did we close today in the stock market? All right, so let's have a look. Um, the overall, what we did in the stock market, it was an okay day. It wasn't the worst day in the market, right? So, what we want to do here is we want to have a look at a few things here. So one stock I was looking at in particular was Tesla. It is forming a sort of like a bull flag on smaller time, sorry, on the larger time frame here. So this is a 1 hour chart. I want to see a break of this, break of 886, and we can push, and we can make a nice move to the upside. This could be coming in the next few days, especially if we have some good news come up with a possible slowdown or slowdown with the war that's happening. Hopefully, there can be a resolution to that very, very quick. Just some idea of direction in the S&P 500 would be nice. So right now, if you look at the S&P 500, it's trading between two ranges here, right? Look at the daily. So typically, when you have a bounce or and then you have a consolidation, it is usually a positive sign that the trend could possibly continue. But the fact that we're not able to go up and the volume is not able to come behind this move here is very concerning to me. Okay, so I want to just keep a watch and see what happens with the S&P 500 here, right? Various things could go wrong still in the coming days here. Right now the strength still lies in the defensive sectors, such as commodities, right? Energy. So that's something to pay attention to. Okay, if we continue to go in that direction, it could be very interesting to for a play for us, right? So that's something that I want to keep in watch for. So one of the stocks that did okay today was Cliff. So this is my bullish list that we're gonna go over here. So these MGM, okay, OVV. So this stock right here is a mineral stock, so it makes sense with commodities going up that this stock could have a positive sign here, right? So what I want to look for, or I always look for, is my ETF flow. With my ETF flow, you can see energy, uh, commodities are on the up and up still. Triple Q did bounce today. S&P 500 went from a minus 99, almost 10% move to a recovery a little bit here today. Great sign. We're starting to see some sort of rotation here, but I'm still not confident. Strength is still in energy, commodities, and gold and silver, right? So having a look at this, so Cliff CF Industries is another one. They're in agriculture. Okay, so this could also do well in sympathy with the commodities market. MOS, this is agriculture as well. So have a look at this, and we're seeing strength still holding up in this in the coming days. CVX oil, clear uptrend here, but however, as you guys can see, some of these moves are getting very, very vertical. When moves get vertical, I usually take profits and I wait for some sort of pullback because right now this is getting very stretched. We want to see some sort of trend test of the support level here and then continue to the upside. As you guys can see here, when it went vertical here, we got a pullback, then a move up, and then a pullback to the trend line and a bounce. Don't chase the stock, okay? You don't want to be setting up yourself where you enter here and the stock falls and you're exiting here and taking a loss when you really didn't need to. You have to have the patience. Let the stock come to you. Let it come to your, trading setup. Okay. RCL. I'm really still watching the stock. It's in a long consolidation. We're sort of a price channel here almost. Right. And just kind of trying to see what it can do right now. It can't seem to catch a break like a lot of these stocks right here. LNG. So this is gas, right? So consolidating at the top, great. Paused after a big move to the upside, positive sign here. As long as LNG can hold this level right here, so support at 128 and 122. So as long as it can hold this, we're still okay. We're still bullish relatively. And if it can't hold it or some sort of move, some sort of break does happen, we're gonna start to see a move down aggressively. But I don't think that's coming yet. We still have a lot of levels for it to break, for it to come to the downside. So, however, I think there's more upside to energy right now. But the important thing to keep in mind is what I watch is this right here. Okay. This is the buy and sell rates, increasing sell rates. Typically, when that happens, when the stock is sitting at the highs, could be a sign of a bearish divergence. However, MACD is still strong to the upside. RSI is still strong to the upside. But then again, these are lagging indicators. So we'll keep an eye on this, see what happens in LNG in the coming days here. Let's have a look at Stld. This is steel, doing decent. Buy rates are up, RSI is up, MACD's up. It's testing this resistance, which is great right about here. We want to see if it can break really, really well, retest and hold. So right now, possible retest it could do is of this level right here, 69. So we're stuck in the range right now. So I'll be watching this stock in the coming days and seeing how it does and where the breakout is, right? The next stock, let's look at ADM. ADM, it's okay. Still in commodities. Makes sense. It's moving with the market, right? So it's doing really well. This is a basing pattern. It's set for a couple months here. Let's have a look at this. Going from here to here. So this is from 2021 May till about now in 2022. So this is a long base and a breakout. So it could do really well here and continue to grow. So I consolidated here for a couple of days and then a breakdown didn't really break. Buyers came in, bought the dip, and it's up here now. So just something to keep in mind here. Always look at the trend line, even the short-term ones. They can give you a very early warning sign if the pressure is changing, but we can start to see the MACD is also curling upwards, so expect for ADM to do well over the coming days here. Let's look at the total list here, so we'll see what our regular usual catalysts are doing. All right, so let's start and look here. Rivian absolutely still killed, consolidating in this range right about here. Okay. We'll see. It can possibly go lower, but Rivian does have a bright future ahead of it, so we'll see what it does. I personally think so. Or it could do something like QS and just completely crumble under pressure. Okay. So RBLX is another one that I'm watching here. Roblox. If we have a look at this, right? So Roblox testing it broke down to 161, catching no buying here. So maybe some fundamental traders are looking at this and buying and picking it up. Yeah, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole, right? So Roku, we placed short on Roku today. The reason why is this gap right here. Okay. As long as this holds, there's more selling pressure. And what I'd like to see now in Roku is we got a trend line here, right? And we got a quick area of support. All right. So we want to see what happens here. Can Roku bounce from this? Like it bounced from it today. If it keeps crumbling, it's gonna go below 116 and go all the way down to 100, right? Otherwise, it's gonna have a nice bounce here and move to the upside. So far, Roku doesn't look the greatest right now. Twitter, let's see here. It started there's a lot of talks about Twitter bouncing or getting support here. Not really seeing it. Still broken down here overall. Shopify. Shopify is doing what everybody else is doing, kind of consolidating in this range. This is a long-term range for Shop. Okay. If it breaks below this, we've already tested, the Shop's already tested this level right here. Okay. Like below this, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but below this, possibly 516 and then 470 is where we're going to go. And this is back to 2020 levels, right? A lot of these stocks are just getting absolutely killed, right? So just be careful when you're buying these dips and all these calls that are coming in, all right? So LMT was another one here. LMT, great catalyst. If you guys watched my pre-market show, I did mention in that LMT, I'm gonna wait for a retest of some sort. For me, it's gone way too vertical. Now it did come down here and it bounced, so I'm gonna watch for this level right here for 429 to break. Possible chances of ceasefire, any mention of that. We can see LMT break down. You see RSI is turning down a little bit. MACD is still strong, and the buy-sell rates are still strong. And you guys can see the volume here. The volume is steady. It's very, very strong. So, LMT is one of those things. So Baidu here, Baidu, so right here you guys can see strong buying and support level right about here for Baidu. Right now it's just really stuck in a range. It's really just stuck. But for me, this is starting to look like an accumulation versus a distribution right now, because there's not a lot of new lows that are setting in. Okay, it is going upwards here. So for me, maybe there's a lot of buying pressure that I'm seeing, right? So this is an indicator I use. A lot of buying happening here. So maybe a long-term play, but Baidu could be another one of those stocks that could be on watch, right? All right, and let's have a look at one more thing here. Let's have a look versus a distribution right now. So yeah, let's have a look at what's going to happen with DWAC. I gave this in the morning, had a nice close, okay? It is turning up. The price is getting very, very tight. So expect a very quick and volatile move here, okay? And it could be to the upside very quickly, but if their downside was to break, it'll be below 75. If this level breaks, we can go down, right? So let's look at AMC. I know there was a lot of news in AMC today, right? They're expecting the company to make some money, but if you just played AMC's, if you'd missed it on the way up, if you just played AMC's breakdown right here, and you could have caught a nice move to the downside, right? Like this move when it broke an important trend line, it's a 55% move, right? It's not very complicated to trade it, but AMC is just one of those stocks, right? So remember, when a stock goes up or it goes down, right? There's always some sort of retracement. Okay, that's what happened here. So whenever a stock goes down, it'll always pull back, and the secondary move is always a real move. All right. So that's where AMC is at. Dollar Tree is another stock that's going to do well in this market where a lot of uncertainty, a lot of confusion, no one really knows which way to go. This is just one of those defensive stocks that's just gonna really do well in this market. All right, so keep an eye on Dollar Tree and some of the other stocks that are listed. I'll keep you guys posted on a day-to-day basis just to see how we're doing and if we get some good barriers to entry. And if we do, it should net us some good returns, right, guys?